Hey, good evening, my friends. How are you? Welcome to another edition of Wednesday Night Live. Good evening, Mike Avery, Patrick. Good evening, Cliff. Good evening, Brian. Good evening. How are you guys? Appreciate you being along tonight on a beautiful Wednesday night. I just left the ball field. I was over there for my granddaughter Addison's softball game. They mercied Freeland first game. I don't know how the second game is going to go, but because here I am. Anyway, it's a nice night to be along with you, and I appreciate you joining me here on Wednesday Night Live. Bruce, good evening. David, Johnny Bowler checking in from Andy's Cine Bar, the place that I'm afraid to go to. I've told you this before. I'm sure Andy's is a wonderful place. I'm afraid to go there because I know if I go in there, I'm not walking out. I'm coming out horizontal. Dave, Charles, Sherry, how are things over in Poseyville? Craig, my good friend, how are you? Bob Keatsman, nice to have you along with us as well. Ryan says it's chilly in Marysville. It's 55 degrees. The wind's coming off the water. When I was at the ball game, when the wind would quit blowing, it was hot. I mean, like miserably hot. The ball game is 5-4, so it's not going to be a mercy this time. And then when the wind would blow, it'd be chilly. Hello, Jeff. Jim, always a pleasure. How are you? Sherry says it's great as usual in Poseyville. There are no bad times in Poseyville. Johnny says, when you get your bear, this is exactly where we will be. Terry checking in from Shingleton. I'll talk more about Michigan Bears applying for a Michigan Bear tag here in the next few minutes. Good evening, Parts Junkie. How are you? Joining us over on YouTube. Thank you. Spencer. Wonderful to have you with us as well, Spencer. I oftentimes think about your bear hunt. Was that last year now, or was it 2 years ago? But Spencer put his time in. He got his bear, but he earned it. Certainly earned it. I hope to be bear hunting in the UP in September with Johnny Bowler, the Bear Whisperer. Steve, Tom, thanks for being along with us on Wednesday Night Live on a Wednesday, May 8th. At about 7:03 Eastern time. And I appreciate you being along with us. Hey, don't forget this weekend is Mother's Day. Johnny said, if I could send you a picture, it would be a bottle of Maker's Mark. I have a very good relationship with Maker's Mark. I love Maker's Mark. Gene, Mike, how are things in your side? See, it's beautiful over where Mike is. On the west central part of the state. Yeah, this weekend is Mother's Day weekend. Do not forget. Sal says northeast winds over in the Blue Water area. Cool, beautiful Wednesday night. I bet it is. Bob Keatsman, my brother will have some stories for you when he returns from his hunt in New Zealand. I bet he will. Mike Sills, Michigan Outdoorsman, doing great. How are you? That was 2022, so a couple of years ago. So you should be due, depending on what tag you put in for, Spencer. You should have a pretty good shot. Kevin. Yeah, I posted him, Kevin. Kevin says, good evening, Mike. I sent you pics of our turkey hunt. Did you get it? My buddy and I doubled up over the morning. Yeah, I posted him. Tommy, congrats on that too, Kevin. That's pretty cool. Doubling up, that's pretty cool. Gene says he's got a charter booked with Doug Ward for August. You will have a very, very good time. Doug's a good man. And Gene, won't it be interesting for you to go out and fish on an angler quest? You are more than welcome, Kevin. In fact, when I get done here, if you go to the Facebook page and scroll down, you will see that picture. There's a lot of turkey pictures. By the way, my friends, if you want to send me a picture of your turkey hunt or your fishing trip, please don't hesitate to do so. But do it in an email, Mike@MikeAveryOutdoors.com, Mike@MikeAveryOutdoors.com. Dave, good evening. How are you? Gene says, yes, it will, because Gene builds angler quests. Gene, have you seen my boat sitting there in the parking lot right now? With the shrink wrap on it since March? Hello, Michelle. How are you? Michelle, the better half of Craig. Mike says, going for Spring Kings on Lake Michigan this weekend. Been seeing people have been doing really good. Yeah, that's true. I got a report just today. In fact, Mr. AnglerQuest, Brad Dupuis, is going to go out there Friday with Paul Schlafly of Riverside Charters. Paul said they're getting real good. Yeah, it's at your shop. It's at your shop, Gene. Getting real good catches of Spring Kings right now. Hey, Scott, I've been doing good. How about you? Yeah, Gene, it's been sitting there since March waiting to have new tubes put on it. Dan, good evening. How are you? I just don't. I'm jonesing so bad to get out there. I want to get on the water so bad. Think about it. Well, and one reason is, Memorial Weekend is 2 weeks away. Can you believe that? Good deal, Scott. Good to hear. 2 weeks from this weekend is Memorial Weekend. And I have a feeling I'm not going to have a boat yet. Yes, Cliff, my home office is nice and cool. This morning in the studio, it was like a sauna for the Yoopers there, for the Johnny Bowlers. It was like a sauna. Didn't know that. Well, that me, son, but can't say when. Well, that me, son, but can't say when. What does that mean, Gene? Help me out. Well, that me, son. Help me out there, Gene. Repost that, please. Nick, any update on the Calhoun County Wolf? Nope. They're keeping their cards pretty close to the vest, or as the chest, as they say. Scott fished the wind and fog last Saturday. Soon. Okay. Well, Gene, when you say, well, that me soon, but can't say when, are you the guy who replaces the tubes? I know you make the helms. Do you replace the tubes too? Johnny Bowler, the Bear Whisperer, 62 here today. It was too hot. Jerry, good evening. How are you? I'm waiting to see what Gene says. Do I have the man who's going to replace my tubes right here on Wednesday Night Live tonight? If so, how can I bribe you? Waiting to see what Gene says. Speaking of AnglerQuest, where are the spring perks? I don't know what that means. Steve, limited out on the Detroit River Monday, about 4 hours by the Gordie Howe Bridge. Gene says, well, maybe soon, but not sure when they're planning. Yes, I can help replace tubes. Well, Gene, it's been there since March. It's been there since March. Johnny Bowler, hey, the guy that won the trout fishing trip needs to get a hold of me to set a date. That's between you and him, Johnny. Scott says, is this no coyote hunt going to make it again after this year? I suspect it is. Alan says, ticks are getting bad here in Atlanta, finding a few morels in Atlanta. If I stare at that light long enough, it's either going to go out or turn on, one or the other. Where are the spring perch at? Haven't heard a thing, Dave, about spring perch. Haven't heard anything at all. Doug, oh, here we go. Craig Plowman says, Doug Ward won the fishing trip with Johnny. So Doug Ward, who is on here right now, Johnny Bowler, who is on here right now, Doug, you need to reach out to Johnny. If you don't have his number, Doug, you have my number. Send me a text and I will send you Johnny's number. Yeah, Gene, I don't know what's going on. Man, I don't know if you can help me out there at all, but gosh, it would be wonderful. I'm just sitting here twiddling my thumbs. Johnny said, hopefully he's got a better memory than you. Well, Johnny, that's ain't on. Not a good selling feature if they can't fix the boat. Look at when you put that many boats on the water and you put it on big water, you're going to have some problems. And you're going to have some design issues and production issues, and you're going to have to make some tweaks and changes. But Brad Dupuis is extremely confident that the new version of AnglerQuest, QUEST, will address these problems. They've got a new tube design. Doug just wants to come fishing. Oh, No, Doug didn't win it. He just wants to come fishing, according to Johnny. Speaking of another Johnny, Johnny Craves. Good evening, Uncle Johnny. How are you? David, good evening. Happy Wednesday to you, Jeff. It is a beautiful evening. Like I said, I was at the ball field, and I think I got a little sun. Scott says coyotes are out of control around your neck of the woods. Well, Scott, just shoot them. You know all the guys. You can't get in trouble. Parts Junkie. If you don't have a boat, I'll take you fishing this Memorial weekend. This is the Captain JT. We met last summer when I bought my dock at Sunset Shores. Parts Junkie. Thank you. It's nice to know. Now I can put a face and a name to that YouTube moniker. And I've had a lot of people offer to take me out. Honestly, so many good friends who have offered. But Parts Junkie, JT, you know what it's like. I mean, it's your boat. You got a way of running it. It's your gear. I just want to get my boat and I want to get it on the water. Thank you, Gene. That's all I can ask. That's all I can ask. Scott, didn't need to hear that. Scott says, you better hurry up. The shallow water bite is on fire. Okay. Johnny needs to email Deidre for contact information about the auction winner. Or just call her. Hey, Ed, how are you? Johnny says, I'll text you later, Mike. I don't want to say the guy's name because it could be very wrong. You get it, don't you, JT? Yeah. Thank you again, Gene. Hey, Josh. Josh, following up on our conversation about spring kings, Josh is hoping to go west this weekend. Looked like they're catching a lot of kings. They are. The salmon bite on Lake Michigan, the spring bite is on fire right now. Hey, Robert, how are you? Off to White River in a few weeks for the spring hunt with Ron St. Louis of Northern Wilderness Bear Outfitters. Robert, Charlie Wiltsey of Primal Outdoors will be up there this spring. I had Charlie on the radio show this week. Craig says, if I pick you up at your dock, that might make me feel better. Craig, if you pick me up at my dock in my boat with my gear, that would make me feel better. Hey, Chris, how are things in Kansas? I know you had a lot of storms. We had bad storms and actually tornadoes or one tornado in Southwest Michigan last night. Michael, how are you? Dave says, I know how you feel about a pontoon last month trying to get a trailer built. Did you have any problems with the helm? Nope. Gene, the helm was perfect. Your part of the job was spotless, flawless, right down to the cigar tube. Kids tournament on the 18th, 12 and under for details. Check in with Chucky's Bait and Tackle for something for the young ones to do. Thank you, Mike. Okay, a reminder. This is the time to apply for your Michigan bear and elk tags. I thought, according to the numbers I got today, I figured more people applied for elk than who applied for bear. Not so. 39,000 people last year applied for an elk tag. 260 of them got a tag. 60,000 people applied for a bear tag last year. 6,600 got a tag. How do you apply? You use the DNR the DNR app on your phone, or you go to the DNR website, michigan.gov/DNR, or you go to a license agent. If you're going to apply for an elk hunt, you have to let them know whether it is a cow tag or a bull tag that you want. If you're going to apply for a bear hunt, you have to let them know if you're hunting with a party and what part of the state and what hunt you want. For example, my first choice is Newberry, Schoolcraft County. Third season is my first choice. Newberry Bear Management Unit, second season is my second choice. Yep. 3 tornadoes close to the house. Ooh, man, that's scary. Jeff, good evening. Johnny. Scott Keatsman, don't laugh. Is it Scott who got it? Kietzman. He's the taxidermist, Johnny? Was that Scott? Hey, Mike, I see that you signed up for the Mike Avery Outdoors charity golf outing. Thank you. Um, we are getting a good response. We are getting a consistent sign up. We are getting some sponsorships in, but I want to fill this thing out. I want to max this thing out. This is Monday, July 29th at the West Branch Country Club. All proceeds go to MUCC's youth camp. You don't have to be a good golfer to play. All you have to do is be willing to go out and have some fun, spend a couple bucks on a good cause. If you want to sign up to play, or if you want to sign up or if you want to sign up to be a sponsor, go to mucc.org/golf. mucc.org/golf, and you can sign up there to play and or sponsor like Mike did. And like Craig Plowman did too. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. It will be a great time, Mike. And I look forward to meeting you. All right. Well, I listen, if it's Scott Keesman, I can put you guys in touch with each other. Scott's a good guy. mucc.org/golf. Okay. We'll talk about late season turkey. Oh, okay. I do a lot on social media. Brian Houck, I posted a picture of his wife's bird, got the wife's turkey in at the taxidermist, 10.5-inch beard, approximately 1.25 inch spurs. Nice. Congrats to her again. I do a lot on social media. Live streams like this, I post pictures, commentary. I find it a good way to reach people for free. It's not like when I had a TV show and it was costing me an arm and a leg to buy airtime. Social media is free. So I like to do, Mike, this is interesting. Another wolf sighting around Thornapple Lake area, Berry County. Is it verified or is it rumor? John put in for an elk tag knowing I will not get it. Me too, John. Not into bear hunting, but that's what I said about turkey hunting. Now, John, have you gone bear hunting? All I say is try it once. Maybe you won't fall in love with it. That's okay because it'll be one less vice, right? But you just might fall in love with it. Honestly, I would give up deer hunting in a heartbeat if I could just hunt bear and turkeys. In a heartbeat. Okay, so I do a lot of stuff on social media. Facebook a lot, Instagram a fair amount, YouTube a fair amount, and I started playing around with TikTok a little while ago just because it's a new platform and it seems like it's ripe for content. And I used to think when you think about TikTok, you think about these young girls doing these stupid, provocative dances to music. And it's just, I didn't think it was appropriate. I didn't think it was anything that I wanted to be a part of. But I started looking around the outdoor industry, and there were a lot of people in the outdoor industry on TikTok. So I thought, well, maybe there's something here. So if you do searches for outdoor type videos on TikTok, there are a lot out there. So I'm trying to take advantage of it. I'm having some very, very limited success, off to a very, very slow start. But I posted a video the other day that I also posted to Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. It's the video from Steve Miller, not the Steve Miller from Fly Like an Eagle, Steve Miller from the Detroit Buck Club. You may have seen it. He sent me a video of him and his daughter Reagan in a turkey blind, and a bear walks out of the woods and walks up to their turkey blind. And Dad is pretty excited about it, and Reagan is pretty stoic. She handled it very well. So, and he's got it all on video. And he sent it to me and gave me permission to use it. I see Michigan Out of Doors posted it too. Facebook didn't have a problem with it. YouTube didn't have a problem with it. Instagram didn't have a problem with it. TikTok banned it. They pulled it down because it violated their community guidelines. Now think about this. You can put anything on TikTok. Some of the most vile, disgusting, borderline pornographic stuff you can think of. You can put it on TikTok. They seem to love it. I put a wholesome video of a guy and his daughter turkey hunting and had a close encounter with a black bear, and it somehow violated TikTok community guidelines. So it kind of made me mad. I thought, I'm going to do a little investigation here. What are TikTok community guidelines? What exactly did I violate? I can't find them. If you start poking around, they say, click here to get our community guidelines. You click there and it's like, well, we do everything to try to be yada, yada, yada. And they never do tell you. They never do say, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. So their community guidelines are pretty nebulous, pretty vague. So I don't know. Because I'm not having a lot of luck growing that TikTok audience, this might just put me over the top. Yeah, well, you're right, Jeff. What I need to do is I need to do some dance videos. I am a good dancer. I need to do some dance videos and maybe take a tight T-shirt and roll it up so it's a half shirt. You know, then I could get some views, right? I don't think so. Tom says maybe his 20th year will be his lucky one. Good luck to you, Cliff. Fans only. I've heard about it. Don't know what it is. Who is they? They posted pictures of it, not verified, just pictures from a reliable source. They, Mike, being DNR, or they being the people who have the pictures, and are they trail camera pictures? Because I'd love. Mike, can you please, because I haven't seen these, can you please send me an email to mike@mikeaveryoutdoors.com with a link of where I can see those, please? Cliff, I'll get to that in a minute. Dave says, I think he leases the farmland behind me for hunting. That's what Sam said. Steve Miller? Yeah, maybe it wasn't graphic enough. Maybe if the bear would have actually bitten one of them, then it would have been appropriate. Johnny said, if you draw a tag, you'll be your only hunter. Johnny, I don't want to be your only hunter. I don't want to do that to you. You got to make money. You're in business to make money. I respect that. I appreciate that. I honor that. And I will do everything I can to help you there. I don't want to be your only hunter. I just want to be the only hunter on that property. Hey, Mike, class of 76. How are you? Steve Miller. I like the way you've decided to live your life, Mike. Heading south. That's right, Ed Bolanowski. If I get a tag, you ain't hunting with Johnny. Take that. The only hunter. No, Johnny, don't do that to yourself. The only hunter to shoot a bear. No, Johnny. I don't care if you take a dozen guys right then and they shoot 10 bears. I just want to be the only guy on the property. No more Scott Gatsa sneaking in there. Palm tree, doing good. Rubbing it in, eh? Oh, I got something to show you. My new Rapid River knife. I went to Jay's Thursday. I took my grandson Carter up to get more ammo for his high school trap shooting team. Saturday? I don't know when it was. Monday? I don't know. I went up to Jay's to get him more ammo, and I walked out the door with that. The man can never have too many Rapid River knives. Oh, let's see here. It is a beautiful knife. All right, you want to know who's on the Outdoor Magazine radio show this week? I will tell you who's on the Outdoor Magazine radio show this week. May is the month for bear applications, elk applications, springtime king fishing, early Saginaw Bay walleye, of which I know nothing about this year, and food plot planting season. So Rich Krazan of Killer Food Plots joins me on the show this week to help us get ready for that. Then Tom Campbell from Woods and Water News. Tom talks about an interesting story in the May edition, the May issue of Woods and Water News, about a girl from up north, northeast Michigan. When she was 9 years old, her family had a pet. She had contact with a pet deer, and they would feed this pet deer and be around it and touch it and such. I just got a text from Scott Gatsa. He says, I got you on TV. I heard you use my name, but I can't comment. All I said, Scott Gatsa, was no more Scott Gatsa sneaking into my spot this year with Johnny Bowler. That's all I said. That's all I said. I do appreciate you, Scott, opening up your beautiful piece of heaven, opening day of turkey season, and letting me shoot one of your birds. It was nice of you to tie him up ahead of time. I appreciate that. Okay, this girl was hanging around this pet deer. Turns out the deer had TB. 10 years later, the girl's 19 years old. She gets TB. It's an interesting story. Hour 2. Let me do a quick check here. Okay, I'm checking with my wife, Denise. She's over at the game. I may need to, when she says it's done, if she doesn't have a ride home, I may have to go pick her up. She could walk, but I don't want her to walk. Charlie Wilsey talks about hunting the mosquito season, the May season. Then Lisa Jackson from the DNR. Lisa is the person who is basically in charge of the bear and elk application process. She talks about how to apply, how the tags are drawn, and also the differences between the bear. Scott says, I can go get her. I appreciate that, Scott, but I think we're good. She's just around the corner here. She hasn't texted me back yet. Differences between the bear and elk drawings, processes. Then this week's Ask Avery question. Deals with a conversation I had with a guy named Will Fitzpatrick about a all-natural bug spray you could use on your pets, hunting dogs. And that's it was Michigan Moon. So Will Fitzpatrick from Michigan Moon, michiganmoon.com, is on the show to talk about that. And in our third hour, we're talking fishing with Nick DeShano of Offshore Tackle. It was Nick's dad, Bruce, who started offshore 40 years ago. And of course, we wrap it all up. Okay. With Wild Game Chef Dixie Dave Miner. I'm going to wrap this up a little bit early, just so I can take care of a little something here. Okay. So before I do that, mucc.gov/golf, mucc.gov/golf to sign up for the first annual Mike Avery Outdoors charity golf outing at the West Branch Country Club, Monday, July 29th. Chris Durson of Rapid River was going to join us tonight. He couldn't make it. He says he can do it next week, so I'll be looking forward to that. Craig Plowman, I'm going to have Lance Valentine on the radio show next week to talk about crawlers. What in the world is he doing with crawlers? All right, my friends, I appreciate you joining me. Start the music. All right, my friends, appreciate you letting me wrap this up just a little bit early. Have a good night. My name is Mike Avery. This is Wednesday Night Live. My website, MikeAveryOutdoors.com, MikeAveryOutdoors.com. Have a good night, my friends.